We have disturbing reports coming in from Canada's Surrey, where the president of the Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, the mandir that was attacked earlier, the president's residence has now been also targeted. We are told that it is his son's house where 14 rounds of firing has happened yesterday. It is noteworthy that Lakshmi Narayan temple was also attacked by allegedly Khalistani goons at least 3 times earlier. Remember, there was a counter-protest organized against this extremism at the temple last month. And that is when they clearly are trying to escalate and ensure that the Khalistani extremism does not succeed. But now, not just the temple that was defaced and earlier reportedly targeted, but the residence of the president of the temple has been reported of at least 14 rounds of firing at the residence. Now, this is the son's house, we are told, in Surrey, and we'll try and get you more details on that.
No, we are really shocked, and police is investigating now, and we are waiting for the results, like, what gonna be, next police gonna say. So nobody is arrested yet, and because in the past 3 times the Khalistani people attack on the temple, and this mandir is the biggest mandir in Greater Vancouver. And Satish, he opposed last time with many people to stand up for each other. And, when I heard this, and I strongly condemn this attack on his residence.
So remember that because in the past as well, the temple has been targeted and has been threatened to be attacked by the Khalistani goons. And we've seen reports earlier as well of temples in Canada that have been defaced. But this time, the residence of the president's family has been reported of 14 rounds of firing that has happened. And again, because of the tensions that have prevailed with regard to the threats by the Khalistani groups and the attacks by the Khalistani groups as well, that it is suspected that there is also the element of Khalistani extremists here. Remember, in Canada, there have been increasingly situations where the Hindu Canadians have felt and have said also that they are living in fear, that there are times when, specifically in areas like these, where they do feel where the Khalistani extremists' presence are increasing. And we have all seen rallies like in Brampton, where there have been rallies taken out of glorifying assassination of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, of trying to show as Khalistani extremists as martyrs and heroes. And with the defacing of temples earlier, now a house, a residence of the family of the president of the Lakshmi Narayan temple, that also has been fired at. Remember, it was the same president and the members associated with the temple who had organized protests also against the Khalistani goons earlier. Our Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan, is joining me on the latest on that. Geeta, what are the reports that we have? Because this is likely to also spread fear. This is not only about reports of defacing temples, but the residence of the president's family of that temple is also being targeted, allegedly.
Well, a very serious incident that has occurred, and like you've spelled out the details of Mr. Satish Kumar's son's house having been attacked with indiscriminate shooting. And this is the same president of the Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, the Lakshmi Narayan temple in Surrey, which had organized counter protests to the Khalistani protests last month. So they have been standing against Khalistani elements, and what we are able to understand is that that investigations are underway. And the RCMP, the Surrey investigating agencies, the police authorities, have put out a note saying that if anybody has any information, that they should be getting in touch with the police authorities. The police remained in the area after the gunshots were fired, and have been examining the witnesses.
Okay.
Speaking to them, including looking into the CCTV footage to see or find out who were behind this entire shooting incident. So, serious incident again on the 27th of December. That's yesterday.
But you know, the concerning bit here, Geeta, is this is not the first time. Earlier as well, Khalistani extremists there have been reports of ransacking the premises, of targeting, defacing the temple premises, and there have been, as reports have surfaced, that the Khalistani or pro-Khalistan supporters have been, have been attacking and threatening. And there is a certain fear among the Hindu Canadians, specifically in these areas, as we enter into 2024. Now, while the Hindu and the Sikh communities will try to allay any fears, will be together at this point, but don't you think this is as much a responsibility of the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, who would rather keep claiming against India while his own soil is being misused for these criminal activities?
Well, the Canadian Prime Minister, in every such incident, has been speaking about the investigations that are being carried out. We do know that in terms of arrests and in terms of taking action, there has been a slower movement, but it is also to do with identifying the elements who are involved in such attacks. In this case, the police is looking into the CCTV footage, not just of the homes there, but the entire neighborhood, and trying to ascertain details of who these elements are who are behind this entire attack. More than the fact that it's a diplomatic row between India and Canada with regards to certain Khalistani elements and individuals. It's also a fact that this has become a huge law and order problem for Canada itself and for the current dispensation, be it gang wars within the Khalistani movement and group itself, or for that matter now, Khalistanis taking on, allegedly, the Khalistanis taking on those who oppose them, particularly from the Hindu community. There have been concerns and letters that have been written by the Hindu Forum to the government, to the Interior Ministry, so on and so forth. Again, we'll have to wait and see what kind of action the authorities are going to take, should they have details and identities of those involved.
And there, you know, for the benefit of our viewers, Geeta, this is the same temple, Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, which we know was targeted earlier as well when there was this whole gang of, and associated with Panun as well, that was putting up posters and pamphlets of naming and putting up pictures of the diplomats. There were these Kill India posters that had also been circulating with the pictures of the diplomats, including in Canada and Australia, that it was some of these temples, including this specific temple, the Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, where there were allegedly defacing and ransacking had happened earlier as well in the premises. So this clearly, that means that now attacking and firing reported at the president's family's house is something that the Canadian authorities must take very seriously.
Well, absolutely, and from the intent, it does seem like they have initiated investigations. But the fact that Lakshmi Narayan Temple and a strong Hindu community in Canada, in various parts of Canada, in this case Surrey, have been opposing the idea of Khalistan and have been opposing the Khalistani elements in their own way by holding counter protests. And certainly that is what we're looking at over here also, a backlash to this entire community, particularly the president and his family, for having taken on extremists in Canada. We also know that India Today has spoken to Satish Kumar, and he said his son's residence has indeed been attacked, and we will be playing out that conversation in just a bit from now. But the information that's coming in, and I quote Mr. Satish Kumar over here, is this is to India Today, where he says, "I can't say whether that was K-goons or some extortionists. Police is investigating the case." And he also further goes on to say that earlier temple was attacked by Khalistani activists thrice. Not once or twice, Pooja, thrice. There have been incidents where the Lakshmi Narayan temple came under the attack of extremist elements, whether it is vandalism or, for that matter, defacing of the property. And he is confirming that indeed his son's residence was attacked, but cannot confirm whether
That's a
they
fair
were
point. That's a fair point. Stay on with me, Geeta.